There's a person you've had around you your whole life that's been limiting your potential, making you feel smaller than you actually are, and even maybe feeling like you're being bullied into living this current version of reality that you're living in. In order for you to live on and achieve greatness, actually achieve your dreams, finally get that abundance or those relationships that you're worthy of, you must actually sacrifice this person. And while it sounds really sort of violent, it really isn't. And I'm going to show you how to do this. So with that being said, let's get right into the video. Now, if you haven't caught on, this person that is responsible for doing all these things is actually you. But not just you. Because when we think about consciousness, we think of it as this one homogeneous thing. But actually, consciousness has different facets to it. And there's hidden aspects of yourself. There's mechanics running beneath your mind that if you understood, you would easily be able to sacrifice this part of yourself and feel actually limitless for once. Feel like you can actually achieve these things and achieve them effortlessly. Not feel like as you're moving forward, there's this like friction or invisible force pushing against you. So let's talk about this. Let's get right into it. There's two parts of your mind. There's two parts of the mind. There's the universal mind, which is the cosmic consciousness. These are the laws of the universe which govern how everything works, from the macrocosmic to the microcosmic. There's even an ancient Hermetic law that states, as above, so below, as within, so without. And these laws are here to create harmony, create a state of homeostasis within your body as an individual, but also to create balance and order within the higher levels above us and below us. And so, this is also what we refer to as the mind of God, the universal mind, the divine mind. Something far more intelligent than any individual person. But here's the thing. This is where many people get it wrong. This is where pretty much every consciousness researcher, scientist, people that consider them experts that I've listened to in this field have been so far off and so wrong. There is the cosmic consciousness. There is the universal intelligence. But then you have a projection of that as your individual mind. And there's many, many projections of it. Each individual is a single projection of this universal mind. Like a light being reflected of the disco ball. You are not a disco ball, but the universal mind is, and you're a simple reflection of it. Now within you, as an individual, there's three parts to you. And this is where that sacrificing yourself comes in. There's, as above, so below. So as there's laws above us and below us, within you as an individual, there's mechanics that are running above you, in you, and below you. So the mechanic running above you is the supraconscious mind. Have you ever had an idea, an inspired thought that seemed to just come out of nowhere? This is your supraconscious mind at work. Your brain is it's an antenna. That's all it is. It's hardware. It's nothing more than that. There's no consciousness running in your brain. You are actually in consciousness. You are inside of this universal mind, operating as a reflection of it. And so, how do we even use this superconscious mind? When you're in a deep meditation, when you've quieted the other aspects of yourself, you'll get these intuitive insights. This voice that sounds like you, but you know is not you. This information that comes from beyond time and space. This is the superconscious mind. Within you is the self-conscious mind. This is your seat of reason. This is your will. This is where you can take action and become the creator of your own reality, which many people don't realize. And this is where the sabotage and bullying happens. And this is where you actually have the ability at the same time. This is where you have the ability to change these things. This is where transformation begins to take place. This is where you become the programmer of your reality. Now below that is your subconscious mind. Your subconscious mind runs as a sort of container containing all thoughts and information from the beginning of your time, from the beginning of your existence, which may have even come before this lifetime. A collection of information that could be ancestral, could be personal, could be relevant and recent. But unfortunately, many of us treat this container of information as a garbage receptacle, putting in all our negative thoughts, all our trained beliefs, all our feelings, negative thoughts and feelings into this garbage receptacle. And here's the thing with the subconscious mind. It can be impressed upon. Ideas can be impressed upon your subconscious mind. And your subconscious mind also has the ability, when commanded, to also become your ally. To be this like hidden force within you that's able to collect information and store it and give it back to you at the right time. Your subconscious mind in this way is incredibly powerful, but inherently on its own can't really do anything. So if I was to give an analogy for the subconscious mind, it's sort of like this camera that you're looking at right now. This camera shoots at 4K in 30 frames per second. And it doesn't care what lens you put on it. You could put a 10 millimeter lens and be super wide shot. You could put a 30 millimeter lens, which is what I'm using. You could see me like this. Or you could use something bigger, like a 200 millimeter lens, which could be like way, way down in the back of the room there, and you would still be able to see me. And this would change your perception of me. It would change how the background shows, how my face shows. It would have these sometimes even distortions depending on the lens you use. And the subconscious mind is sort of the same way. Is that the lens that you impress upon, the thoughts and beliefs you impress upon the subconscious mind will form your perception, or the lens that you see reality through. And your brain actually has a hardwired mechanism called the RAS that does this. So it's not just like some woo-woo thing out there. It's actually physical and metaphysical mechanisms working together. But let's go back to your individual mind, right? Who is this person that we must sacrifice? This person is you, the current version of you. All the thoughts, emotions, beliefs, things that you've impressed upon your subconscious mind subconsciously over your lifetime. Because when you're young, especially in the first 7 years of your life, you're mostly running off the subconscious mind, mostly subconscious impressions. And so this is the game of life. We go through life, we're born, we pick up all these negative thoughts, belief patterns, habits from people around us, parents, environmental conditioning, and then we go on this lifelong quest to begin to realize who we really are. I can't remember where it was said, but basically a person dies twice. They die after they're born, and then once their life ends, they die again. I'm totally butchering that quote. But you do die twice. You wake up in this world as a child, you collect all these beliefs, all this information, and then you end up having to kill that person off. That person has to either be sacrificed and be nothing so you can become something new, or you hang on to these old parts of yourself. And I was stuck in this trap for a long time because I was doing a lot of self-development work. I was seeing coaches. I was reading books. I was reading on identity shifting, which was all helpful. But it still didn't help me move to a new version of me, internally and externally. To be able to take massive action. To be able to be passionate and express my passions. And it wasn't until I realized that there was this old part of myself, these lingering identities of somebody who was maybe a partier, somebody who wasn't responsible, somebody who smoked a ton of cannabis all the time and had no priorities over my own mission. It wasn't until I sort of dropped these things and they kind of fell away as I raised my level of vibration, as I raised sort of my frequency. Because here's the other thing. What you impress upon your subconscious mind will also create a frequency, a type of vibration, which will then attract or repel opportunities around you based on that level of vibration. And it wasn't until I made this internal change that I was able to see things much differently, see reality much differently, see opportunities around me much differently. And so ask yourself, take a moment to think after this video. What are aspects of yourself that get angry? What angers you? What are the things you believe about this anger? What triggers you? And what do you believe about these things? These could be helpful signs to finding this old programming, these channels of belief that no longer serve you. Like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video. Until next time, peace.